New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a sunny afternoon out there as we take a live look over Providence with our Skycam, but it's still chilly, and especially with that wind. Chelsea is in the Weather Center with our first forecast. Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, Doreen. Yeah, yesterday we ended up with plenty of sunshine, but it was a windy and cooler than average day, and that's what we're seeing again today. Basically a repeat of yesterday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Average high is 67 degrees, so we're sitting 10 degrees below that right now. Plus, it's very windy outside. Breezes coming in out of the northeast sustained at 25 miles per hour, with gusts coming in 30 to 40 miles per hour outside right now. So it is another windy day as we're kind of wedged between a low system offshore and a high pressure system inland. Temperature wise, we're in that mid to upper 50s range. You can see farther away from the eastern coastline, temperatures are in the 60s in Connecticut, but right along that eastern coastline out towards the Cape and out towards Plymouth, temperatures only in the low 50s, so even cooler out that way. That's also coming with some clouds. As I mentioned, there's a low system just offshore, clouds and showers even clipping the Cape and Nantucket right now, but a lot of clear sky with that high pressure up to our north. And when we're wedged between the two systems, it stays very gusty. Now in the Providence area, we end up with highs around 60 degrees this afternoon. We have another clear, cool, breezy night ahead of us. We do have a warming trend, and by the later part of this week, some really mild temperatures moving in. I'll have much more in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. And our top story today at noon, a shooting in the capital city. It happened early this morning, leaving a teen in critical condition. ABC6 News reporter Dominique Turner is live at the scene. Dom?
Good afternoon, guys. Providence police say that shooting happened right here in the area of Providence and Somerset Streets. That shooting left a 17-year-old boy in critical condition, and now neighbors are waking up to that news and telling us they're horrified to hear what happened. A quiet Upper South Providence neighborhood quickly turned into the scene of a shooting overnight. Dozens of officers swarming the area of Providence and Somerset Streets, where police say a 17-year-old boy was shot while inside of his vehicle. Investigators saying the victim was shot by a suspect inside of another vehicle. ABC6 News crews on scene witnessing officers canvassing the area and putting up crime scene tape. At the same time, just a few blocks over, another scene developing at Rhode Island Hospital, with more investigators blocking off a ramp and searching through a car on scene before towing it away. Neighbors waking up to the news saying it's terrifying that shootings are becoming all too common.
I just think it's wrong, because these are kids, these are our future. These are the people that are going to be the mayors, these are the people that are going to be the congressmen, these are the people that are going to be the police. We need to arm them with something that will help improve their life.
Afrifa has lived in Providence for 30 years, telling ABC6 News crews the neighborhood could be better with more investment into children and schools.
If you give kids resources, they will utilize it to their best abilities. I feel safe, somehow safe, I feel somehow safe, but it could be better.
Now, we just spoke with Providence police just minutes ago, and they tell us that 17-year-old victim is still in critical condition, and the search for a suspect is still underway. For now, live in Providence, I'm Dominique Turner, ABC6 News.
Overnight, also investigating a car that went into a building. This was on Putnam Street just after midnight. Providence police and fire were on scene. You can see that maroon car there slammed right into the building. We are still waiting for more information from Providence police on this. We'll update you just as soon as we learn more. And developing news today on a deadly crash in Massachusetts over the weekend. A Smithfield woman killed in a crash in Mansfield. 31-year-old Carrie Dolbashian was killed after police say she was hit head-on by a wrong-way driver on 495. This was about 3 a.m. Saturday. The other driver, who is from Pawtucket, has non-life-threatening injuries. It's still unclear if that driver will face charges. And the trial for a Providence man accused in the kidnapping and death of a Boston mother gets underway today. Luis Coleman is accused of kidnapping then 23-year-old Jassy Correa outside a Boston nightclub, killing and dismembering her, then stashing her body in the trunk of his car. This was back in February of 2019. State police in Delaware arrested him on 95 4 days later. He's pled not guilty to all charges. Federal prosecutors decided not to seek the death penalty. The trial will be at U.S. District Court in Boston. Also in court today, celebrity chef Mario Batali. He's pleaded not guilty to a charge of indecent assault and battery. In court this morning, he waived his right to a jury trial and opted for a bench trial instead. If convicted, Batali could face up to 2.5 years in prison and be required to register as a sex offender. The 61-year-old is accused of forcibly kissing and groping a woman after taking a selfie with her at a Boylston Street restaurant in 2017. ABC6 with the focus on our schools now. And Rhode Island's Department of Education will host a State of Education event tonight in East Providence. Governor Dan McKee will be on hand to celebrate student achievements from the past year. The event will include panel discussions and a speaking program. The venue is part of the show, too. Guests are invited to tour the new East Providence High School. That event gets started at 6:30. And ABC6 News at noon covering politics today. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announcing Sunday that he will be putting a bill to codify Roe v. Wade into law up for a vote later this week. It would need at least 10 Republican votes to overcome a GOP filibuster, and hitting that threshold is unlikely. 13 states have so-called trigger laws, which would quickly ban abortion in some capacities if Roe v. Wade is overturned. The expected vote in the Senate comes after a group of protesters marched to the homes of Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh over the weekend.
If America's people, America's women and men who love them do not fight, right now we will lose the basic right to make decisions, to have bodily autonomy, and to decide what our futures look like.
I think Roe v. Wade created a constitutional right that doesn't exist in the written Constitution. It's created division from the first day it was decided until now.
A recent CNN poll found that 59% of Americans would support Congress establishing a nationwide right to abortion. And more political news today. Massachusetts Governor hopeful Jeff Deal will be in Taunton today for a meet and greet. Deal is running against Chris Doughty in the Republican primary. The winner will likely face current State Attorney General Maura Healey in the general election. Healey is up big in the polls. Deal will be at the Liberty and Union Ale House. Is set to be joined by 3 Taunton City councilors. That event gets started at 6:30. And it's a big game tonight for the Celtics. The men in green back in action for Game 4 in Milwaukee. The C's are down 2-1 against the Bucks. All-star Jason Tatum only scoring 10 points in that Game 3 loss. Part of the issue may be his sore left wrist. That's something to keep an eye on tonight. Game starts at 7:30. Next at noon, Vladimir Putin's much anticipated speech today. Where did he leave things publicly about the war in Ukraine? Plus, the state of coronavirus in Rhode Island as more state-run test sites prepare to shut down. And gas prices creeping back up, approaching those record highs we saw back in March. You're watching ABC6. We'll be right back. ABC6 News at noon continues now with the crisis in Ukraine, and President Vladimir Putin holding a massive ceremony in Russia's Red Square commemorating Victory Day, marking Russia's triumph over Nazi Germany in World War II. Putin did not amp up his rhetoric about the war as some had feared. ABC's Ika Jachi reports.
Today, President Vladimir Putin, along with thousands, gathering in Russia's Red Square for Victory Day, a patriotic holiday commemorating Russia's victory over Nazi Germany in World War II.
Вы сражаетесь за родину.
Putin using his speech to try to justify his attacks on Ukraine, saying that they're responding to NATO aggression and that they're fighting for the security of our homeland. Still, Putin didn't escalate his rhetoric as some experts feared, never formally declaring war, a victory in Ukraine, or even what his next plans are. He also chose not to threaten Western countries. Ukrainian President Zelensky countering Putin by releasing a video of him walking an empty, barricaded street in Kyiv, saying, "We will not give anyone a single piece of our history." Zelensky also meeting virtually with the G7 leaders, including President Biden. The group announcing new sanctions on Russia, promising to cut off imports of Russian oil, sanctioning on Russian state TV networks, and imposing a ban on consulting and other services that support Russia's war. Elsewhere over the weekend, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden with a surprise Mother's Day visit to Ukraine.
I thought it was important to show the Ukrainian people that this war has to stop. And this war has been brutal.
That brutality ever present in the southeastern port city of Mariupol, where bombs continue to bombard the steel plant as the last Ukrainian troops are still holding out against Russian forces. So far, the Red Cross is reporting that over 600 civilians have been evacuated from that steel plant and the Mariupol area since May 1st. Now, altogether, the organization has helped facilitate the safe passage of more than 10,000 Ukrainian civilians from the region. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, an increase in COVID cases in Rhode Island, where we stand today. And hitting us where it hurts, the wallet. Details on the soaring price of gas. Turning to the coronavirus now, COVID hospitalizations are ticking up again in Rhode Island as much of the Northeast moves into a higher risk zone on CDC maps. Last week, it reported 81 people with COVID-19 were in the hospital in Rhode Island, about a 25% increase from the week before. Local pharmacies tell us they are seeing increased demand for testing, with some of the state sites now shut down. Federal health officials are also monitoring the situation.
We've seen a surge of infections here in the Northeast. We've not seen a huge spike in deaths because the population is so well vaccinated and boosted. That's not true for the whole country. So we've got to continue plugging away at getting more people vaccinated and boosted. We've got to get more therapeutics in place. If we have the resources to do all of that, I do think we can get through this winter without a lot of suffering and death.
In Rhode Island, there are currently 14 state-run COVID testing sites available, but 3 of them will be closing on May 15th. Well, the pinch at the pump in consumer news as fuel prices continue to rise big time, with diesel prices now more than $6.25 a gallon. And there is no relief in sight. In fact, drivers could see a record level of pain at the pump to begin the work week. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of regular is now $4.32. That is up 18 cents from last month and 1 cent below the all-time high set on March 11th. Some analysts predict an average price as high as $4.50 a gallon by summer.
Yesterday was the first time I ever filled my truck up and I hit over $1,000.
China is a very large oil consumer. So if China shuts down some of these big cities, that could mean lower demand and it could mean lower price, just depending on how long these cities are shut down.
Fuel prices are being pushed higher by increasing demand and rising oil prices due to concern about less Russian oil entering the global market. And ABC6 wants to help you pay less at the pump. You can find the lowest gas prices in your area on our Southern New England gas tracker. Just head to our website, abc6.com. You can find it right under the Community tab.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Well, it's another day today that was very similar to what we experienced yesterday for Mother's Day. We had some sunshine with some passing clouds at times. It was gusty and cooler than average, and that's exactly what we're seeing outside today. Most of us in Rhode Island in the mid to upper 50s. The farther west you go, the warmer you get. 60 in Killingly, 60 for Westerly. Still cool for this time of year. The farther east you go, the cooler you get. Low 50s for spots like Plymouth, Hyannis, and Provincetown right now. We have that breeze that's coming in from the east to the northeast, and it's gusty. Those water temperatures off the eastern Mass coastline are only in the 40s right now. So when you get those gusty winds coming in right off the water, it keeps us a bit cooler. Now, typically in the Providence area, we should be making it into the mid to upper 60s. So we are clearly about 10 degrees below that right now. We do have plenty of daylight left. That sunset getting later and later, happening at 7:53 this evening, close to 8 p.m. But even with that sunshine outside in many locations, it's just not warming us up a bunch. These gusty winds from the northeast not helping, sustained anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour, and some gusts have been closer to 40 miles per hour outside so far through the late morning and into the early afternoon. We are going to continue to see these breezy conditions with us through today, through tonight, through tomorrow. There's an offshore system that's also wedged between a high pressure to our north, and with those two systems kind of fighting against each other, we just deal with really gusty winds. And with a wind from the northeast, we're looking at those temperatures staying a bit cooler. Now, it really is two very different forecasts when we look at the 7-day. Temperature-wise, upper 50s and low to mid 60s as we head through tomorrow and Wednesday. Still quite breezy. Some clouds passing through at times with that low system just offshore. Now, as soon as that low drifts farther south, we get a wind shift and the temperatures start to climb. You're looking at temperatures late in the week into the mid 70s, upper 70s on Saturday, close to 80 degrees for our inland spots. Again, these are our Providence temperatures, a bit cooler along the coastline. Once again, water temperatures are on the cool side of things. Now, right now, that low pressure system is close enough that there's some clouds and some showers out over the Cape, out over Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. Really, those are the only locations getting clipped by some showers today. Most of that shower activity stays offshore, and you can see plenty of clear sky for almost all of New England except the Cape and the islands at the moment. So we're going to end up with a bright sky for the remainder of the afternoon, but that low continues to sit just offshore. High pressure sits just to our north. And again, with those two systems close together, we still have these gusty winds to deal with. We'll be clear and chilly overnight. Temperatures back down into the low 40s by tomorrow morning. Factor in the wind, feeling even cooler. You get sunshine for the day tomorrow, just a few passing fair weather clouds at times. And then into Wednesday, some of those clouds from that large offshore system do kind of roll into our area. And we end up with eventually that low pulling farther and farther south, kind of doing a funny loop, a backwards loop out over the ocean, pushing south. High pressure finally gets to move in, and we get those warmer temperatures late in the week. Upper 50s today. It's a breezy, Cool day for this time of year. Tonight's chilly down into the low 40s, feeling like the 30s with that breeze. And then tomorrow we see sunshine for most of the day, but it's still a breezy day. But high temperatures at least making it into the low to mid 60s. Low to mid 60s on Wednesday with some clouds and maybe some drizzle at the coastline. But then those temperatures start to climb by late week. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Still to come, an extra special yearbook, 3D printed for a visually impaired student. How this all came together. Next. Welcome back. A special yearbook tradition at Georgia's Academy for the Blind. ABC's Will Gans shares their story.
Who cares about being in the yearbook? Talk about pointless.
I seem to remember last year you tried to be most photographed student, Gordo.
The school yearbook is of paramount importance to any high schooler. But the yearbook at this school in Macon, Georgia, takes on an entirely different meaning. Students lean on their educators and their peers even more so at Georgia's Academy for the Blind. Michael Munn is in his last year here at the school, where he lives on campus with his friends that he's become so close to.
It's more inclusive, and I can hang out with people who are more like, actually, who is more like me.
With graduation right around the corner, Michael was worried he'd only have his memories to remember his classmates and best friends, because a traditional yearbook wouldn't mean much. But Thursday afternoon, all of that changed.
Michael Munn. Yes, right here. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes, please.
Okay, you got it right there.
Oh,
there's
there's
the
a
clamp.
Yes.
And we're gonna open it this way.
Oh, this way.
It opens this way.
Oh, very nice.
In each one of these boxes, 3D printed replicas of each of his classmates' faces. It's a yearbook of sorts created by Mercer University engineering students.
Lots of hair. I can tell because there's some actually hanging down from in front, like I am doing right now.
Technology and the kindness of strangers giving those with visual impairments a way to keep in touch with their friends in a different way.
I can at least, remember all those times that we spent together.
Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, we'll check back in with Chelsea for another look at that afternoon forecast. Stay with us. Finally this afternoon, a big honor for a very important pup. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky presenting the country's famous mind-sniffing dog, Patron, and his owner with a medal to recognize their efforts since the Russian invasion. The pint-sized Jack Russell Terrier has been credited with detecting more than 200 explosives and preventing their detonation.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
That
Think of
one
all
dog?
the lives he's saved. Yes.
Wow.
I enjoy the fact, too, that he just stood there wagging his little tail the whole time. I mean,
he got some extra treats.
Yeah, hopefully.
Deserves them for sure. We are looking at partly to mostly sunny conditions outside today. It is breezy and it is cool. It's our coolest day on the 7-day, upper 50s today. Low 60s tomorrow, and Wednesday still slightly cooler than average, but then we flip a switch and we warm into the mid to upper 70s for the last part of the work week and into the weekend. Not bad.
I think we can. I think
Yes.
we can.
We'll
We're
get there.
getting there, guys.
We'll get
get
there.
on that train. All
Yeah.
right, thanks, Chelsea. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.